practice.
Okay. How y'all doing?
Good,
Doing
great.
pretty good?
Good.
See, I didn't practice enough, so I brought notes. And so I'll be, I was assigned to talk a little bit about practice. There's, in English, it's a word we use in many different ways. We think about practice in order to, well, you practice something so that you learn it, and then you've learned it and you don't need to practice anymore. We also talk about, practicing law, practicing medicine, and people make jokes about that, I don't want to go to somebody who's practicing medicine, I want to go to somebody who knows how to do it. So we use the word in different ways. But maybe maybe some of you took piano lessons or some other instrument. Did anybody take lessons, music instruments as a child? Yeah. So the teacher would ask you to practice every day, and maybe she'd ask you to practice scales, musical scales, or chords, or she'd ask you to practice your piece so you'd be ready for the recital. And if she was a good teacher, she would say that one of the most important things about practice is listening, is paying attention. Because that's the only way you can improve, is by paying attention and listening and questioning. So you have to question, is this note that I just played, is it in tune? Is this passage too loud or too soft? Is it too slow or too fast? Am I shaping the notes right so that they're pleasing to listen to? And then your teacher would encourage you to just do it again and again and again until it gets closer to what you want it to be. And then there would be the big event, the recital, and your practice would either pay off or it wouldn't. But in the Soto Zen tradition, the 13th century Zen teacher Eiji Dogen talks a lot about practice. And one of his writings is translated continuous practice, yoji, continuous practice. And I'll just read a short section of that, his introduction. He says, "On the great road of Buddha ancestors, there is always unsurpassable practice, continuous and sustained. It forms the circle of the way and is never cut off. Between aspiration, practice, enlightenment, and nirvana, there is not a moment's gap. Continuous practice is the circle of the way. This being so, continuous practice is undivided, not forced by you or others. The power of this continuous practice confirms you as well as others. It means your practice affects the entire earth and the entire sky in 10 directions. Although not noticed by others or by yourself, it is so," he says. So sometimes we tend to think of Buddhist practice as being, going to the temple, sitting meditation, listening to talk, chanting sutras, or reading the scriptures. But Dogen would say that also practice is driving home from the temple, and also practice is going to work the next day. And when you go to work and you get an email from a coworker that's angry or disparaging, that's an opportunity for practice. And practice involves paying attention, listening, questioning. So it involves listening to what comes up when you read that email. What comes up in terms of thoughts or feelings, bodily sensations. What happens when you read that email? And it invites the question, What was that person thinking? Why did they do that? Where is this anger coming from? It invites the question, how can I respond to this to bring about something more harmonious, more pleasing? Should I respond right now, or should I give it time to settle? Should I respond with an email, or should I talk to the person face to face? So Dogen would say that from our first aspiration to follow the Buddha's path until our final breath, it's nothing but practice. And there's no separation between practice and the goal. That between aspiration, practice, enlightenment, and nirvana, there is not a moment's gap. That practice is the goal, and the goal is the practice. The recital is the practice, and practice continues endlessly. Now, sitting meditation is practicing doing as little as humanly possible. You don't move. You don't intentionally think about anything. Now, there's still breathing, and there's still random thoughts and feelings and sensations that arise. This is just part of being alive. As long as you're alive, these things happen. But learning to pay attention, to listen, while you're doing nothing, is practice for paying attention when things go completely nuts. Sitting meditation is the most stripped down form of practice. Just like playing the C major scale is the most stripped down form of piano practice. But repetition of this stripped down scale practice helps you play the music more beautifully. And regular practice of meditation helps you play the music of your life. It can help you notice things, your own emotional state, the emotional state of others, the environment, the needs of the world, and the call for appropriate action. And as Dogen says, even though you and others may not notice it, this practice changes earth and sky, above and below, to the north, south, east, and west. It changes everything. So let us now continue our walking in the park practice, listening, questioning, paying attention. Thank you.